considerations offered by Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Securities Exchange Board of India, the company is conducting the AGM virtually through video conferencing mode. All efforts that are feasible to the company in order to enable the members to participate and vote at the AGM is considered by the company. Live streaming of the meeting is being webcast on the website of the CDSL. The facility to join the AGM for shareholders is arranged through video conferencing in association with Central Depository Services Limited on first come first serve basis for a capacity of 1,000 shareholders. All members who have joined this meeting has been put on mute by the host in order to avoid any kind of interruptions. Once the question and answer session starts, I will be announcing the name of the registered speaker shareholders, and the registered host will unmute the speaker shareholder. I request the shareholder to turn the video on and raise your questions. If there are any connectivity issue at any speaker's end, we will call out the next speaker shareholder and you may continue after that. If during the AGM any shareholder faces any technical issue, he may contact contact details as provided in the AGM notice. Now I invite Mr. Nawaz Miran, Chairman, to take the chair and conduct the meeting. Sir, please.
So very good morning. We will start with the roll call.
Okay.
I am Nawaz Miran, Chairman of the company and Chairman to Stakeholder Relations Committee and Risk Management Committee. I am attending this meeting from the registered office of the company. As the requisite quorum is now available, I call the meeting to order. I request the company secretary to do the proceedings. We will follow with the yeah.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of Chairman, I request the directors attending the meeting with me from the registered office of the company at Ernakulam produce themselves. Starting with Sherin Nawaz.
Good morning all, I'm Sherin Nawaz, Non-Executive Director.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, Naiju sir.
Good morning all, I'm Naiju Joseph, Non-Executive Director.
Thank you, sir. Rani ma'am.
Good morning all of you. I'm Rani Joseph, Non-Executive Independent Director.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Good day, I am Devarajan Krishnan, Whole-Time Director and CFO of the company.
Thank you, sir. Now I request the directors participating in the meeting remotely to introduce themselves and specify your location. Kindly unmute and speak once you unmute and say your name and location. Starting with Jai Sheelan. Jai Sheelan, sir, please.
So good morning. I am Natarajan Jai Sheelan, Independent Director. I am attending from Dindikal. I maintain confidentiality. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. CB, sir.
I am Dr. CB. I am attending from Chennai, Green Park Hotel, non-independent director. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Apart from directors, we have our Head of Operations, Mr. Mohammad Sharif Shah, joining the meeting from the registered office with me. Further, we have C. Alan Joseph, partner of G. Joseph and Associates, our statutory auditor. Then C. A. Shyam Mahadevan, partner of RGM Price and Co, our internal auditor, and Mr. N. Balasubramaniam, partner of PVR and Associates, our secretarial auditor. And we have CSP Shivakumar, who is a scrutinizer. He is a managing partner of ACP and Associates. He is a scrutinizer for the AGM. Further, representatives of Registrar and Transfer Agent, Integrated Registry Management Services Private Limited, has also joined the meeting from their respective location. Since the meeting is held virtually, appointment of proxy is not applicable. Thank you, sir. Now, I request our chairman to address the shareholders.
Thank you. Dear members, directors, key officials, and other invitees, a warm good morning to you all. It's a pleasure to address everyone gathered here today. Your presence is a testament to the dedication and shared vision we hold for our company and the industry we serve. Reflecting on my message in the annual, the fiscal year 2024-25 unfolded amidst contrasting economic conditions. The first half experienced challenging market conditions, while the second half witnessed gradual improvement.
Sorry to interrupt. Citizen team, I request all the joinees through director's link to put on mute. We are having interruptions. I request all the joinees to keep your mic on mute mode.
The first half experienced challenging market conditions, while the second half witnessed a gradual improvement, though it did not achieve the pace of recovery anticipated earlier. Automobile production remained below previous year, and the tire industry was impacted by unprecedented surges in the input cost, reaching historical highs. While this have partially moderated, the cost environment continues to be elevated. Despite this headwinds, our company upheld its disciplined approach to cost management and operating efficiencies. In the face of challenging external conditions, we maintained a disciplined focus on protecting our margins through a stronger market pull for our products. This strategic approach remains central to our long-term vision, reinforcing the resilience and sustainability of our business. Throughout the year, our company has demonstrated resilience in the dynamic market. We have remained committed to the operational excellence, technological advancement, and market diversification that have significantly enhanced our production efficiency, production quality, and distribution network. These achievements are not an endpoint, but a solid foundation for future progress. As we continue to embed sustainability across all aspects of our operation and growth initiatives. As we look ahead, our priorities remains clear: to strengthen our domestic market, expand our export reach, deliver long-term value through innovation, sustainability, and operational excellence, and continue improving quality to stay ahead in a competitive industry. As a key player in this evolving landscape, we are aligning our efforts with national objectives while positioning ourselves to meet the international standards and expectations. I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to my colleagues on the board for their steadfast support and invaluable guidance. Most importantly, thank you to all our stakeholders for your tremendous trust and confidence, and for being an integral part of the journey. In closing, I am excited about the future of our company. Together, we will navigate challenges and seize opportunities. Let's continue to work collaboratively, innovative boldly, and lead our industry towards a sustainable and prosperous future. Thank you all for the attention, and have a good day.
Thank you, sir. As a part of roll call, I request M. Mohammed, Managing Director, who has joined this meeting now, to tell your name and designation.
Good morning to all. I am M. Mohammed, Managing Director, attending the meeting from the corporate board.
Thank you, sir. Since the notice of 32nd Annual General Meeting of the company, along with copies of audited balance sheet, audited accounts, and a report from the statutory auditor and the board's report was circulated as per the directions of MCA and SEBI, the notice is taken as read. As independent auditor's report does not contain any qualifications, observations, or comments, it is not required to read these reports at this meeting. However, I request Mr. Devarajan Krishnan, the all-time director and the CFO, to give a brief on the financial performance of the company for the financial year 24-25 and a brief outlook on the business operations of the company. Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everyone attending the meeting. Yeah. So to start with, from the revenue side, we ended the year, which is 24-25, with 60 crores against almost the same revenue in the last year. So there's not much of difference. it's the same level. And the loss also, if you look at it, we ended with 303 lakhs against 295 lakhs. So that also is almost similar. But taking the point from what Chairman just mentioned, we had a very turbulent first half in the last year, which has actually contributed to a similar loss, like 23-24. In fact, if you look at it, the rubber prices have gone up by almost from 8 to 10%. And also even the carbon black, which is also one of the main ingredients, has also gone up from almost like 10 to 12%. Because these constitutes our almost like 60 to 70% of our product. So the price differentials have impacted our performance. And as you all would look at it, the first half, there were a lot of factors. One is the war factor, which was continuing. The second, again, the erratic weather conditions across the markets, even in the domestic markets as well as in the international markets, which has actually contributed to the supply chain. So the supply has become less, and that has actually contributed to the higher prices. So we could not really pass over the price increase to the customers. With the result, it's not just Eastern Threads. Almost all the companies in the industry, be it the tire industry or the retailing industry, have faced a loss situation, or maybe there was a margin erosion. And as a just to highlight, the raw material as a percentage of the total sales have almost like gone up by 5 to 6% in the last year. So that was a situation. And in terms of our loss, also the 303 lakhs of loss, what we incurred for the full year, almost 75% contributed in the first half. So which effectively means that we have started performing well, or maybe the markets have stabilized in the second half. So where we could reduce the losses, and which is also reflecting the current year, which I will touch upon a little later. So this being the case, while external factors, there is hardly anything which we can control, we have also taken a lot of measures internally just to make sure that we are not going to lose much. So from a cost standpoint, we have reduced employee cost, which is one of the other main costs which we incurred. So it's not that we have sent away any person. We have rather improved the productivity, and people who have really left, we didn't really bother to hire new people. So people have really taken extra load, and we could do that. So that is one. And wherever we have seen some extra expenditure in the employee, we have reduced it. So that we could reduce, the employee benefits. We have almost like 65 lakhs. We have reduced it when compared to the immediately previous year. Bank borrowing, which we depend heavily to do our business, there also we have reduced the interest cost. While the bank borrowing has actually gone up in value terms, we have reduced interest by almost 28 lakhs, despite there was an increase of borrowing by close to 3 crores. So we have put some effective measures, some smart measures in bringing, good, the credit lines with a lower cost. That has contributed to decrease, the interest cost. So that has also helped. And also, the other expenses, which also constitute, which is not much, there also we have looked at what is actually more required. So we have taken all important steps, even the other overheads, such as, the travel expenses and all the other carriage outwards, everything, we have looked into. That also, we have reduced it. So these measures have contributed for a reduction in the loss in the second half. As I mentioned earlier, the 75 lakhs loss in the second half against almost like 225 lakhs. That's all these things have actually contributed, along with the stabilization in the product prices. So from a balance sheet standpoint, while there are 3 key indicators, which is actually the debtors, the accounts payable, and the bank borrowings, we have reduced in all the areas. So if you notice in our annual report, what we published, the debtors have actually come down, even the payables have come down, even the stock which we have which we used to hold almost like 2 months of stock earlier. So we have taken a conscious steps to reduce the holding period of the stock. Effectively, it means just-in-time purchases. So that also has been controlled to a greater extent. While there are still a lot of work which we are doing it, I think in the months to come, we should be able to really work a little more smart and then strengthen the balance sheet. So we are on the growth path. I would say as an organization, we were able to really build a good team. We were able to build a solid, a processes around. We were able to really bring some experts in the field, and we were able to really structure various things, even in the the markets, what they have to really talk about, and how we can really increase the performance of the organization. So going ahead, from the performance to some of the focus areas which we have worked on in the last year. So one, of course, the product innovations, like Chairman just mentioned in his key address. We were actually looking at global markets as well as the domestic markets, and there is always a room for improvement, right? In terms of bringing in a new compound, in terms of bringing in a new pattern. So always, for us, we have a leader to follow. So we started actually looking at what the customer needs and what the leader particularly is selling it. So we were able to change some of those compounds, some of those patterns, and then what is more required in the market, we were able to launch it, and which has actually started producing results. We were able to get some good tonnage of sales, which has already started. Then the market expansion. As we are seeing a lot of turbulence in the international markets today, particularly, the war is still continuing, and also, there is a new thing in the market, right? The US, after getting the new president, right? He has got a lot of sanctions and tariffs issues, but still, we were able to really penetrate some of the market segments, particularly the Mexico markets as well as the US markets. So that is helping us. There are reasons for that. While whatever Trump says, it's not going to really help fully because US is dependent on various countries, for their internal tire requirements. So that being the case, there is still a market, but it's going to create some amount of volatility, turbulence, which we have to face, right? So that is actually happening. But the silver line is that, that market opportunity which we have started working in, we were able to penetrate, and we have started getting some results there. The capex infusion last year, in the last so many years, we have not done anything from the capital front. So we were able to, we looked at, what is more essential. So some of the mix, which actually directly links to the quality of our product, consistency in quality. So we changed the mix so that, the quality can be improved. And the direct result is that, we were paying claims and damages earlier in the market. We used to get stray claims earlier. So that has considerably come down, in the last year. We used to pay around 2 to 2.5 lakhs every month in the previous years. So now the last 8 to 9 months, we are not seeing any, claims. So that's a direct reflection of, our, focus in improving the quality by doing some of these things. And quality of the products also, again, coming from the capex, we also started checking all batch in terms of, the quality. And any records to be done, we started looking at, implementing measures that can actually improve the quality. So these things have become now kind of a life or maybe a daily routine for us, which we started doing it more diligently. And market representation. Last year, we have represented in Latin American Expo. That was a good experience for us, and we got a few leads. We are working on it, and there is, as I said, there is a good market, but we need to really convert. So it's going to be a bit of a journey which we are working on. But then it was overall, we were able to just put up a presence, Eastern's presence in the market there, where we got some clientele, and we are working on it just to convert. Incentive model, like almost all the tire companies are actually just doing it, all the automobile sector, right? Any performance which are linked to the, any sales performance, which are linked to the direct performance is what we are trying to do. So we have started implementing nice incentives for the sales resources, and which are almost linked to the performance. So that is also giving us some results. We had a lot of reduction in the salespeople. Almost, we had some 32 resources we're doing frontline sales. So, it has come down to around 20. But despite, reduction in the sales resources, we were able to, show better quality output, right? Sales output in the last year. So that has also started performing well. Procurement, of course, we have restructured the procurement team. Just-in-time procurement is the key, which we are following. So that has, as I said earlier, it has reduced the inventory levels, and also, just-in-time procurement also help us in reduction of cost. And more importantly, in the second half, because the market has become a bit more stable, we were able to procure it more efficiently. That has also helped in, bettering our performance. And dealer branch, strategy, again, India is a huge market, and we have a lot of opportunities. Some of the markets where we can deal through the dealers, we are looking at. Some of the markets where we need to really have our own branches, we are looking at it. And all these are actually with the view that we need to increase our market presence. So a lot of measures have been taken, to increase the dealers, and even somewhere where we don't want branches, we are stopping the branches there. And somewhere where we need it, we are actually opening up branches. So that also is actually giving us, some amount of visibility, like how we can, improve sales. And credit limits, that's the biggest problem in this segment, because the market is fully credits, right? So whoever actually doing sales, they have a bigger risk of, extending credits. But as an organization, we are very clear that, we will take a very calculative risk in giving them credits. So we have set policies around, like cash and carry and against checks and all that, which is being followed more diligently. And while that is giving us results, we are also taking some conscious call where we have some risk which we can take, that we are doing it that aspect. And last but not the least, the fleet management services. As an organization, while we are a product company, we are also looking at service-oriented business, where today the fleets, their main problem is the cash. They don't have money to really invest in their business. So we are actually kind of partnering with the end operator, which is the fleet owners, and where we are giving tire as a service, where the entire tire with the maintenance and everything has been given to them as a service, and we own that tire, and they will pay us on the basis of the actual usage. So it's a big advantage for them, because they are getting revenue, and out of revenue, whatever they earn, they are passing over the cost to us. So it's a win-win for both, like us, as well as to the end user, which is the retail fleet operator. So there are many things which I just highlighted. All these things, we have set up a proper structure, and it is actually happening. So that is actually started happening, and the reflection of this is there in the first quarter of this year. While this information is there in the public domain. After almost like 4 years of continuous losses, our company has made a profit in Q1, right? Because that is something which I just want to highlight in this meeting, just for the benefit of everyone who has not really heard or maybe not seen. We have made a cash profit in the first quarter of this year, and we wanted to continue this trend. And hopefully, I think if there are no surprises in the big market, or if there are no further trumps coming up in the market, probably we should be able to really, follow this trend and make our organization a profitable organization. And export markets also, as I said, there is a greater penetration. We were doing hardly some 23-25 tons of export every month, which we have doubled it in the current year. So that is also kind of, contributing to better margin. And the cost optimization is going to be the daily routine, right? So we are not going to just stay stay put on whatever we have achieved, rather what we can actually achieve more in terms of taking the organization to a safer zone and more profitable zone is going to be the aim. So with that, just to highlight, these are the things about the company as well as what we have been done. And in terms of, the automobile industry, what is actually the road ahead for us? Again, from what Chairman has just mentioned, automobile, where we are actually part of, it's a big industry. Like while we have actually seen a dip in the last year, it almost contributes 7% of the total GDP, right? So it's not going to really go away. And almost, India's manufacturing GDP, if you look at it, it is almost like 49%. And almost like, from a sales standpoint, India's automobile exports, of the total exports to the global, the automobile exports is almost like 8%. And India stands as the third largest automobile market by sales across the globe. Earlier, it used to be US, Japan, and all that. Now we have become in the top 3 league in terms of automobile sales. And in terms of the production at the global level, we are actually the 4th largest producer, of automobile, this one. So why I just want to highlight is that, what we are dealing with, it's an excellent product, because any direct reflection of growth in this, we are going to take a pie of it. And in terms of the tire segment, so to say, India's tire segment, the tire is actually market is growing at a 7 to 8% annually, and mainly contributed by the replacement market. Replacement market, which is actually the second time purchase, or even that contributes almost like 60%, right? And the total value of the market capitalization of the sales value is almost like more than 1 lakh crores, right? So that is also, again, we are growing. And US exports, while as I mentioned earlier, US, despite all these problems, the total exports going to the US, 17% constitutes exports to the US. So it's not going to stop. Trump can put any measures, but then finally, people will take a call. Maybe the cost, it will be borne by end user, or maybe the middleman, or maybe the producer, but then the market is going to stay. And in terms of the EU, which is the other big opportunity, if you look at it, EU, they are actually shifting a lot of operations to the Asian countries, because there are a lot of compliance aspects coming up there, like the REACH and, EUDR and all that. And also, due to the very high energy cost and also the, ESR compliances, they are now forced to take a situation to move some of the manufacturing operations here. So I am really thrilled, I'm excited to be part of this industry. And definitely this is going to give better, impetus for growth in the coming years. And I hope as a team and, with the guidance of everyone from the shareholders, from the directors, we should be able to really get into more better heights and make our company a profitable company. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, I'm willing to take.
Thank you, sir. Now let's move on to the agenda items for today's meeting. There are 7 resolutions placed for today's meeting. The first 2 resolutions in the notice pertain to ordinary resolutions, ordinary businesses, which are adoption of audited financial statements of the company for the year ended March 31st, 2025, together with the report of the Board of Directors and independent auditors report thereon. Item number 2, to appoint a director in place of Mr. Nawaz Miran, having DIN 00128692, who retires by rotation in compliance with the provisions of Section 152 of Companies Act 2013, and being eligible, seeks reappointment. Next items in the notice pertain to special businesses, which are item number 3, appointment of Dr. C.B. Varghese, DIN 11240695 as an independent director of the company. Item number 4, appointment of Mr. Devarajan Krishnan, DIN 11240486. As director of the company. Item number 5, Appointment of Mr. Devarajan Krishnan, in 11240487 as all-time director of the company. Item number 6, approval of related party transaction between Eastern Drugs Limited and Group Miran Private Limited. Item number 7, approval of related party transaction between Eastern Drugs Limited and Easty Chai Private Limited. Since the AGM is being held through video conference and the resolutions mentioned in the notice have already been put to voting through remote voting, there will be no proposing and seconding of the resolutions. In compliance with the provisions of Section 108 of Companies Act 2013 and Rule 20 of Companies Management and Administration Rule 2014 and Regulation 44 of SEBI LODR regulations, the company facilitated remote voting facility to all members through Central Depository Services Limited to vote on all resolutions proposed to be passed at today's meeting. The e-voting period of the company commenced on September 22, 2025 at 9 a.m. and concluded on September 24, 2025 at 5 p.m. In order to facilitate voting by those shareholders who have not exercised their right to vote through remote voting, we have arranged e-voting during this meeting. Those of you who didn't vote through remote e-voting shall be eligible to vote through the e-voting system of CDSL from now till 30 minutes after conclusion of this meeting. The board has appointed Mr. T. Shivakumar, Managing Partner of ACP and Associate Company Secretaries, Kochi as a scrutinizer for e-voting. The results of e-voting shall be intimated to the stock exchange within 48 hours of conclusion of this AGM, and the same will be posted on the company's website and website of CDSL and the Bombay Stock Exchange. Now let's proceed to question answer session. We have received 4 requests from shareholders, and they have been registered as speaker shareholders. And I will be calling out the name of the registered speaker shareholder, and the shareholder is requested to turn the video on and raise the questions, and we will be answering the same. Mr. Abhishek Jain, DMAT number IN 3016374135915. CDSL team, please confirm if it is present in the meeting or not.
Abhishek J is available but not responding.
Abhishek Jain, can you please respond? Okay, we'll move to next person, Mr. Rishikesh Chopra, DMAT ID 12081600205128886. Rishikesh Chopra.
Rishikesh.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Yes,
please carry on.
Okay, sir. Many thanks for the opportunity. And let me tell you, we are more than 10-year-old shareholder of your company. But from the last 5 years, the performance is not so great. And being promoter so strong, being promoter so knowledgeable, and I think 12 years back I meet Mr. M.E. Mohammed, and I was really impressed the kind of work he has done on the ground and the kind of foundation he has done. Mr. Nawaz, I'm sorry to say that in the last 5 years after COVID, you were not able to, your team was not able to do the great job. So what is your vision right now for this company for last 5 years? And apart from that, you have got a corporate bodies where you want to do some transitions and you take a loan from them. First of all, why don't you convert the loan into the equity, sir? Why don't these companies will be the shareholders? As a promoter, you can hold the shares maximum 75% officially in India. So why don't you do that thing means in the right spirits and this thing? Because I don't know why you want to sell or buy some items through the corporate bodies. So it creates a doubt when I came to your office, but you were amazed. There was nobody in the office that day. Not Abhi Anil, not Mr. Devarajan Krishnan. On the working day, I came in on Wednesday, and there was nobody. And when you write your speech from the chairman desk, sir, one more thing, you have not mentioned anything about the company. Means what on the ground you are doing. You have just given the industry scenario or the government thing. So please, when you're doing this thing, I know you are such a big man. For you, 15 crore market cap company is like bucket from a sea, maybe. But once the girl child is born, you have to take care of her education. you have to take care of her marriage, you have to take care of her even first rise in South India. I learned that is also the this thing. So if this particular listed company you have, why don't you use this company to raise the funds for the whole group? You can merge some companies with this. Means since it's very difficult to delist the company now, and it's very difficult to list the company now. You know, it takes more than 15-20 crores to list the new company these days, minimum. If you want to do it in the right way and this thing. So why don't you use this platform for this thing? And I wanted to learn about the succession plan, means who is there in the next generation. I have never come to know about that. And your CFO has given very interesting speech and told the reasons about the last 2 year losses, and especially the last first half. But what are the strategies? You know, every next company, tire company I'm seeing, even in retrading, they're doing well. Even actually the top line is going up. And one more thing, in the cash flow statement, your this thing, I'll just tell, your bad debts are close to provision you have put for in cash flow statement of around 1.4 crore rupees for the for the bad debts. So in the cash flow statement, if you see the operating profit before working capital changes, let me tell the CFO. He is saying that we are at the same level. No, we are not at the same level. The operating profit before working capital changes was 66 lakh rupees positive. This year we are 1.6 lakh crore rupees negative. So please give the right and true picture to the shareholders. Everybody is literate these days. Everybody is this thing. Last year you made a net cash generation from the operation activity that was 2.9 crores. This year only 45 lakh rupees. Okay, that is my request to you. Whatsoever you are doing, do in the right spirits. See, everybody has earned the money in the country like India, whomsoever has invested or whomsoever at that level. So we need a respect which will come from a transparency, which will come from a right spirits and right karmas. That is my request to you. You are more literate in your business. You are more wonderful in your business. But do everything ethically with the right spirits. That is my request to you. And you know, and one more, I would not say complaint, but my suggestion. You know, I sometimes feel that if we keep a trust on a smaller company like you, we'll feel like a school child, where a school says that we will give you the report card every year, and we will not do the parent teacher meeting, we will not do anything. Whatsoever is the report card as an annual report, you read out and make us what your child has done. So for old people like us, please give us an opportunity to meet you once in a year to show the factory every alternate year what growth you are doing. We will do our own expenses to come, we will do our own things to come, to do everything, but please give us that opportunity to build the confidence. You know, you have your father has must have listed this company when nobody want to give him the business. If we have given the money at that level, please respect that. That is my request to you. Everything you are doing, and if you can tell us who are the top 5 players from where you buy the rubber and carbon black, any listed company available, because for the from in the future, from the hedging point of view, if I will buy 100 shares of you, I will buy 30 shares of those companies. If the prices goes up, I can hedge my position. If you can throw some light on that, what are the what are the tire companies, and means despite everything, why the other tire companies ROC is better, or they are able to make the profit? JK Tire, Goodyear, everybody was able to make at least some profit in the last year, at least at 7 to 9% operating margin. So please throw some light on that, and best of luck. And if you can give me the opportunity to meet you in November or December, when I'm in India, that would be really great. And I request company secretary to send me the KMP notice and top 500 shareholder list. Many thanks for the opportunity, sir. Thank you, and best of luck.
Thank you, Rishikesh. You know, respect and appreciate the points which you have mentioned. 5 years back, we decided, you know, the credit level, the receivable levels in the organization was at a much higher level. So we decided that, you know, we will have to move into a much more disciplined manner and reduce the amount that need to be collected, reduce the payable level also so that we get a better pricing on the raw material. So what happened was once we did this, once we took this tough stand and started operating, our volume started coming down, because when you say someone that you have to pay in 30 days or in 15 days or pay cash and carry, obviously the buyer was a bit reluctant. But what we have successfully done is that we were able to bring most of the business, at least 80% of the business, under 30 days of collection, and that's one thing. Second thing is, in spite of losing the customers, we were able to add new businesses, new customers, and that is happening on a daily basis. I need to thank the sales team and the operating team headed by Dev and his team for adding at least 2 to 3 new clients in a month, and that is what taken our company into a profitable position in the last quarter, which obviously the last quarter result is already published, I guess, right? Yeah, it's already published and it's there in the public forum. You also mentioned about our shares, why we are hesitating in converting our shares in the company. You should understand that the shares, the preferential shares which you have taken, it's a preferential share.
Director loan conversion.
No, that's what
Director
loan conversion. So the director loan, in fact, one of the investors in the company is Kerala State Industrial Development Corporation. We had requested them for converting this loan into equity, but I have a feeling that by doing this exercise, they might go below 10%. So they might lose some of the rights which they are enjoying as of now. But we are still pursuing them to see whether we'll be in a position to convert these loans into equity. And one more thing, these loans are all zero coupon loans, and it's not we are not charging any interest on that particular numbers. Steve, if you look at the overall industry, we are. If you ask me whether we are part of the tire industry, we are hardly 5% of the tire industry. We actually increases the usability of the tires by recapping the used tires. So if I look at the tire industry, it is a 90,000 crore industry, and we are in the last lap of increasing the durability of the tires. So this in the last 2 years, we've got into an arrangement with C8 Tires, where we are trying new models where we become part of fleet management, and that has proved to be profitable. That has proved to be a way forward for the company in the future, so that you get aligned with the end users, and those end users. If you look at transportation as an industry, the first cost is on the fuel consumption. The second cost is on the tire usage, and the new model which we have brought in obviously will bring in more clientele into the picture, and hopefully we'll be able to be part of the 100% of the tire industry by buying tires, giving it to the end user, giving it as a new tire, plus adding life by doing the retreading of those particular tires. So we come to the 100% of that particular industry. We'll be happy hosting you to the factory as well as to office. I'm so sorry that people are all on work. When you came, if Dev and team was not in office, they would have definitely been out for a business visit or something related to business. So, not being in office, I'm sure you know that no one will be able to run businesses and operations without being in office. At least you have to be in office and lead the people from the front. And they and team, they're doing that exercise. And I'm pretty sure that in the years to come, we will definitely be able to make you all happy. Especially for us, this is the only listed company from the family. So anything and everything that negatively impacts this company will definitely be impacting our reputation also. So we are committed. We are here. For the last 30 years, we are here. We still want to be here and take this into the next level. And the process which we are following as of now, I'm pretty sure that will bring in positive results to the organization. And you had asked some questions regarding the finances. They will reply for that.
Yeah, see, Hrishikesh, first of all, thank you. You brought in, I'm sure that, you would have gone through the financials and, did a good deep dive. See, just to take this one from chairman, see, the couple of things which I just want to highlight on the debtors, you mentioned that there is no reduction, right? If you look at the balance sheet 3-4 years back, we were at around close to 24 crores. That was our debtors level, which has been brought down to now 15 level. And currently, even if the debtors, there is no reduction, please understand that, we have increased the share of exports, and exports have got something like, 60 days to 90 days LC. So that will remain as a debtor till such period. So that is also one of the reasons, it is actually at a higher level. And also, if you look at the collections we have made from the old debts, that keeps coming down. So we can, I will give you details separately. I don't want to really take everyone's time. So that is what I just want to highlight on the debtors. The performance, as I mentioned very clearly, the second half of last year and the first quarter of this year, we have started performing well. And you can actually just see the results, which is published in the public domain. And in terms of the competition, while we have a 90,000 to 1 lakh crore total market size, retread segment, which is at 5,000 crores, right? So it is just 5% of the total market is where we are in. While overall there is a growth in the tire segment, but then this also, is directly related to various other factors. And the performance, you mentioned that some of the companies are performing really well. But if I just look at, the people like the Indag or Vamshi, who are actually my direct competitors or our company's competitors, you will see that, their share prices have come down from almost like 240 in the last 52 weeks to the level of around 120 now, right? I'm not sure whether you hold that share. And there is a dip. And even the performance, if you look at the quarterly performance of Indag and even Vamshi, which is a listed company where I have information in the public domain, they have also suffered huge loss or margin. They might be making margin, but the margin has substantially dropped. So that is a result of, they have whatever the expected margin, they really did not get it, right? So that is actually a factor. And the prices, which has actually gone up, and nothing of that sort is directly related to the internal situations here. Most of it is actually external and something which we could not really control. And customers are always they don't want to really get to see an increase in prices. So these are the factors which is broadly reflected on the performance. But going forward, I just wanted to emphasize these things once again. We are actually expanding both in the domestic as well as in the export market, right? That will actually, you will start to get to see that very soon, or in the coming quarters also, you can actually just see the results that will be reflecting there. And in terms of your office visit, please, I think, I don't know whether I have received an email or any phone call from you, just to say that, you'll be coming on this day. I would be really happy to, meet my shareholder any day. Even if I have some outside commitments, I will make sure that, I will keep the time for you for a good discussion where we can have, little more deep dive into various things. And I will also, take any good, suggestions or any good thoughts if you have. Always, it is welcome. So I'll just stop here. Maybe if the cash from operations you mentioned, yes, actually, one of the things, the operations, we always have to really pay advance, whereas the receivables are like 30 days to 45 days. That's a kind of the rule of the game here, right? We have to be in the business. We should not lose business. But whereas, for example, rubber, which is the main ingredient, they have to be paid in 15 days. So we have to invest actually cash. So again, is a carbon black, which is also another one. There also we have some credit period, but then they are also not, in the market. There are people who are giving them advance payment and things like that. So we are actually looking at all these cases and making sure that we do the things right things so that we are able to really match the cash requirement. And in terms of the loans also, as I said, we are kind of looking at the business and what we need to really bring in and what cost of capital we need to bring in. And also, if you look at the interest costs in 23, 24, and 24, 25, they substantially come down despite increase in loans, right? So that also proves a point that there is a good system which is in place. And believe me, one thing which I just want to tell you, we are doing everything in a more ethical manner. We don't believe anything to do in an unethical manner. Everything is very clear and it's well documented. And possibly when you visit here and when we have a discussion here, I think I'm sure that you will get more confidence. So if you have any kind of those kind of clarifications or anything required at any point in time, please feel free to call me directly. My numbers are available, and I'm happy to support you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We'll move to next shareholder.
Yeah.
Mr. P. Gopal. Demat account number IN 3004411069989.
Not available.
Okay. Not available. Okay. Manchit Singh, Demat account number IN 3002061090764.
Not available.
Okay. So we have received a few questions from Mr. Abhishek J. We'll answer it. Myself, and I request Dave also to join. Where you see the light in the end of the tunnel, what will be the growth triggers in the first half and second half?
Yeah, so I think there will be some repetition. I think most of the things I just mentioned in my last address, as well as to the questions to Rishikesh, right? So of course we have started seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. That is reflected in the second half of last year as well as the first quarter. I'm sorry to repeat it again. And the domestic performance as well as the export performance. Domestic performance in the first half, if you look at it, we were doing around 240 tons on an average, 240 to 250 tons per month, which has now gone up to around 275 to 280. On top of it, we have export also. So almost like 300 ton plus sales. We have been doing it since September of last year, which is a great win for us. We all should be proud of. And that's what is actually reflecting, in the coming months also. So I think whatever we have done, which I just called out sometime earlier, that is reflecting on the sales.
Next question. Please give the production capacity utilization figures for the month of April, May, June of 2024. What was the capacity utilization of last year?
Yeah. So production capacity, as I said, while we have not made any major, additions in the production line to increase the capacity. So we were actually at around 600 tons per month capacity. So that remains, as is now. And in terms of the capacity utilization and the sales, we are at around 50%, 49 to 50%. And it's not because, we want to why we are not utilizing the sales, right? even in the chairman's message also, even the questions to Rishikesh also, we have said that just after COVID, one of the big accounts which we thought we will not do is the RTC work, right? The regional transport work. If you look at 22, 23 and 23, 24, we used to do around 1,000 tons of sales on an annual basis, which is right now at nil. Main reason being, that the receivables and, we don't get money on time. So we deliberately took a call not to really do this business. So that is also, one of the reasons that, we are flat at the sales. But we are more happy that, we are not adding more losses to the organization and receivables are at manageable levels. So the production capacity, the question related to the production capacity, we have created this production capacity based on all these factors. But now, as we see growth in the coming months, we will diligently use it wherever it is required, whether it is for the domestic market or for the export market.
What are the new innovations and new product launches did after April 1st, and what's the response so far?
Yeah, price has always been a challenge in the domestic as well as in the export market, right? While we sometimes believe that, big premium products have got a good demand in the international market, but that's not the case. So keep that in view. We have started looking at alternate compounds by changing the composition of natural rubber and even, the PBR and various stuff, and also the mileage aspects. So sometimes, the customers, they don't want so much of mileage, but they want a lower price, right? So we are trying to understand the customer and give what is required. And if price is a factor for them, we actually give them a different product. So those things have actually given us opportunity to look at the current composition or maybe the current compounds what we have in our shelf. And with that, we started making few changes by making, the price reduction. So in the international markets also, we have actually launched a new compound, which is not being used here in India. Whereas in the, domestic markets also, as I said earlier, we started making a few changes here and there, even the new patterns. So we have invested heavily on the new molds and, in various markets, particularly in the up north and south, the requirements are different. So we have actually started looking at these kind of innovations and then which can directly give a lead to our sales. So that is actually happening now, right now.
What is the cost-cutting initiatives and production enhancement activity done by the management?
Cost cutting, as I said earlier, one of the capex infusions, which is on the mix, we have introduced, and we have changed. We have invested close to 50 lakhs to get a new mixer, and where the mixing quality has improved, and that has also reflected in the quality of our product, right? So in a way, this has also resulted in lower claims. So that is actually is one cost cutting. And also, whatever, the quality improvement, while it's not directly on the cost cutting, that is also reflecting on the higher sales. Whatever the sales which I just called out, the 300 mark, it's all these activities what we have done is actually, resulted in getting our sales higher to that level. And we are not going to look back. Our next aim is to reach 400 to 450 tons in the next 6 months' time.
What is the view of the management going forward? Sustainability of the profit earnings growth will remain the challenge in coming quarters.
Yeah. So again, most of it, I've been actually touching upon, right? Our big hope is the international market, because as we see it across all these segments, like EU and even NA also, there are big scope to increase our presence. And as we see it, we have already given around close to 200 tons, and our product is actually getting used. And I should be glad to say, maybe to Rishikesh also, the last 35 years, we have not sold even 1 kg of rubber in the US market, which we have commenced. So that's a big win for us, right? So people are now seeing our product, the Eastern product, the Eastern brand in US. So I'm sure that, as an organization, this is only going to go up, which we were not able to really do it in the last 30 years plus. We have succeeded. And this is an effort of last 6 months of very consistent, continuous, very stringent activity, right? because to get a deal, to strike a deal with the vendor, we have to really prove our worth. So that's been happening, and I'm sure this word of mouth and more retailers will see our product, Eastern product, and we will only be able to really go up, increase our market share in the coming months.
What are the management efforts to improve working capital to sales ratio, return on capital employed, net debt to EBITDA, multiple OPM debtor days, and interest coverage ratio?
Yeah. So it all reflects to one common point, which is the financial performance, right? Once the financial performance improves, naturally, that the cash profit, which I just mentioned, it improves. It will reflect in all the ratios what Abhishek has just mentioned, and we will have surplus cash, and our debtors will also come down. Even the payable will also come down. ROC will also become better. So I think one common factor as we see it is what is reflecting now, which is the financial performance. I'm sure that in the next 2 to 3 quarters, if this trend continues, we should be able to really get into decent ratios across all whatever he has mentioned.
He has requested for a factory visit. Regarding factory visit, we would like to make it clear that to maintain confidentiality and also for protection of proprietary information, factory visits are generally prohibited for any outsiders. However, if you could provide us a justifiable reason for the same, we will consider, and you may need to request us in writing in advance. Rishikesh Chopra may also take note of the same. What are the management efforts to improve company image through investor relation exercise like con call, quarterly presentation, meeting global investors? To maintain transparency, company publishes quarterly results and key announcement on website of Bombay Stock Exchange and the company website. Conference calls and quarterly presentation or other investor related updates, if any, will be intimated as and when scheduled. Yes, as for details of current and non-current liabilities, and with respect to liability figures, the details are properly disclosed in the financial statement and the additional notes thereon. Requesting the shareholder to kindly refer the annual report. And he has requested for a call facility. We will do it on need basis if you could give us a justifiable reason in advance. What are the management efforts to reduce other expenses, legal, professional charges, and audit fees? Sir, if you could.
Yeah. So again, as I said, all these are actually consistently done. The other overheads, legal charges, and audit fees, all these are actually directly linked to what kind of a activity we want to do. Even legal expenses also, we don't have any fixed high legal expenses and all that. So if there is any legal support required, only we are engaging. So as of now, we don't have any big issue of increasing the legal expenditure. And the audit fee also, we've been very reasonable. We have checked the market and the industry standards, and we are going ahead with that.
What are the credentials that new and existing directors are bringing on the table to take the company to next phase of growth or to guide the new generation? This appointment being done after checking all new amendments under clause 49. Directors have good industry exposure and their appointments are based on board's consent and on their credentials. Information about the directors are always detailed in the explanatory statement annexed to the AGM notice. Every time whenever a new person is taken on board, all appointments are made in line with all the applicable regulations and provisions. What is the policy related to dividend in our company, as most of the senior citizens paid any dividend for this financial year? The company makes revenue and all carry forward losses are settled. We will consider the dividend disbursement. He has asked for top 300 shareholders list. If you could just make a request with a detailed reason, we will consider this. Where you see the industry in next 3 years and where our company will be placed within the industry as other players are more proactive and prudent. Okay, so if you could answer the question.
Yeah. So our aim is to increase the revenue from the current 60 crores to around 180 crores in the next 3 to 4 years. So that's an internal plan which we are working on. And I'm sure that, given the prospects in the tire industry, we should be able to really get in there. But we are actually putting a clear plan across the organization, and the targets have been given to everyone to reach this level of market share.
Please put a detailed PPT and give us an opportunity for one-to-one discussion with management, as we just want to learn and understand the industry and dynamics. You may make a formal request in the email ID investors@easternbridge.com, which is available at the annual report, and we will consider the same upon your justifiable reason, and we will do the needful. These are the questions from Mr. Abhishek. There are no further registered speaker shareholder. If chairman like to add anything further, you may.
I think we have been, as Dave just mentioned, the idea is to take advantage of the full pie of the tire industry. So that should actually take us to the numbers which Dave just mentioned about 180 crores in the coming time. And we are very hopeful that in information technology, we talk about software as a service. So we have coined this new terminology, which is tires as a service. So tires is going to help us be more engaged with the end consumers. At the same time, this will add better bottom line to the company. And I'm pretty sure that last 30 years of collective knowledge and insights which we have regarding this industry will definitely be able to take this to the next level.
Then all the formal agenda items for the AGM meeting is concluded. I request the managing director to give a vote of thanks to the attendees.
Hospital chairman, directors, auditors, organizer, company secretary, chief financial officer, other invitees and valued shareholders. A warm good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of Easterners Limited, I want to express my heartfelt appreciation to all of you for joining us today at our 32nd annual general meeting. I would like to thank our chairman, Mr. Nawaz Miran, for chairing this meeting and for his address to our shareholders. Thank you, Nawaz. I extend my gratitude to all our directors, statutory auditors, internal auditors, statutory auditors, the organizer and other professionals for your valuable contributions and for taking the time to be today. Your support is vital to us. A special note of thanks to the officials and staff of CDSL for their seamless coordination and efforts in facilitating the smooth conduct of this meeting. Lastly, I want to recognize and appreciate my team members for their relentless commitment and hard work, which play a crucial role in our continued success. The road ahead holds both exciting and opportunities and important challenges for Easterners Limited. It's a collective effort and determination. I am confident we will continue to build on our success and create magnificent value. Once again, thank you for being here and for your continued support. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I request chairman to officially declare the meeting as concluded.
Thank you all for being part of this meeting. We will definitely make sure that every stakeholder will be happy associating with this wonderful organization, and we'll catch up for the next year's meeting. Thank you.
ADSL, please.
Can we close the session for all?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, thank you.